that jump, but I don't know why you would even try right there.
You still feel confident?
No, I
I
put my stock on this map. I was like, I want to see how Pristini does, and he just literally kills himself.
He just flew like an eagle, and well, Temp with a nice double, looking for more. Doesn't necessarily even need to, as already Team EnVyUs with the early control in this one, 24-0. The important fight, though, forget really the hill for the first one. In my eyes, it is about those spawns, and it's about who can dictate them. No RCDs. Number 2 on the minimap. Really going to be the key player in this situation as he tries to just make sure no one pushes through bridge. Checks by the middle. Nice win.
And they're going to clean up a couple kills as well. So this is much better than the start that they had. And eUNITED at least has an opportunity to finally get some points on the board. But yeah, Envy, if you get a 39-point lead just on the first hill, you got to feel good about yourselves. You can test a little bit. Just keep the other team outside of the hill. You don't even necessarily have to break as long as you keep the spawns for next. They're in a good spot. Still, though, Envy not doing a job of getting eUNITED out of the hill right now. So eUNITED trying to make this comeback. You see just how far RCs can push up. And taking down Temp, at the very least, is going to distract Classic. So by himself, RC's is taking care of half of the team for Envy. Now it's Hugh trying to get behind enemy lines, but at this point, his team are a solid 10 seconds away from being able to help the man out.
And here's the problem. If you'd have won a couple of those gunfights as well, you may have actually, ironically enough, spawned eUNITED out, which is favorable, of course, for that third hill. But as it stands, eUNITED, they started off slow, but a phenomenal response from them. They pick up every second there on that courtyard hardpoint, maybe bar 1 or 2, but wonderful stuff. A great comeback from them.
Yeah, and Pristini right now has already managed to get behind enemy lines. You see the route that he took, well, there wasn't a gaping hole in the map for him to jump over, so he managed to stay alive as he's moving forward. But yeah, that's huge. Again, not only did eUNITED just get a massive amount of time, they're able to get spawns, and despite the fact that Classic is back there, eUNITED still spawning up, but at the same time, he might be able to do some damage, but his team is not winning any of the gunfights for him. So now here's the question. Classic standing in the back, and there you go. eUNITED, they still spawn at Cave. This is a very tough spot for Classic to be in, but he's trying to make it work.
And Envy dug themselves into a hole there. They killed RCDs on the old hard point, forced him to spawn ironically in that situation. Leave him. You don't need to kill him. He's going to pick up, what, 3 seconds of hill time. Not the end of the world. Now you have a situation where Silly gets streaks as well. What was a brilliant start from Envy, I mean, it's gone downhill almost instantly.
And this was the biggest problem for Envy at the start of the game. In the hard point, they made a lot of just really bad decisions. A lot of times they don't even watch lanes, but there you see the spawn just getting pushed out. And that's something that can be, well, obviously incredibly costly on a map like Gibraltar. But yeah, Envy, obviously they need to clean up their hard point game quite a bit more because things might start to get out of control. Of course, though, they're trying to get that rotation over because Pristini is by himself, but able to pick up the kills as well. So Temp ends up winning that one, then maybe they would be able to get a lot of time, but now Pristini is just causing all sorts of problems. Finally, he's going to get dropped, and eUNITED, well, they're struggling so the rest of them to get to the next hill.
Most definitely are. The key there for Pristini was he won the gunfight and instantly tried to push out towards comms, put the pressure on Team EnVyUs. Luckily enough, though, they do have some streaks at their disposal, and you see the fighter pilot, of course, utilized. As it stands, no one on the hard point. EnVyUs currently trailing. Just a little bit, though. Nothing too crazy at this point, yes.
Not at all. RC's up in the top window again. Him and Clay on this map can just trade off which one wants to be in the power position. That's the power of having 2 great AR players on your team. Of course, the question is who can make the swap to the PPSH on pretty much every other map. But either way, eUNITED, pretty solid job. And I want to give a lot of credit to Pristini on this hill as well. Again, we talked about him being able to be that solo player that plays nowhere near his team, that hyper aggression. That is where you expect Pristini to be able to thrive. And on top of that, we've seen Silly get streaks. We have RCs with streaks now. So it's only a 6-point game, granted, but eUNITED did have a very nice first set of rotations.
Most definitely did. RCD's fully streaked out. Of course, you see the artillery barrage called in from him, puts it slap bang on the EnVyUs spawn. That's a free double kill for him. Envy spawning so far away. eUNITED are going to pick up a huge chunk of time. Realistically, the key here on this hard point is going to be Clay. Don't allow anyone to overextend through bridge. Finds 1, finds 2. Perfect job from him. If he wants to, he may be able to find Hook as well for the triple, but more importantly, has to stay alive. And unfortunately, you see what happens there on the mini-map chance. They lose control of the spawns. Team EnVyUs with a little bit of lady luck on their side.
Still, though, I mean, 22 seconds for eUNITED just to kind of backtrack just a little bit, but very nice job. I think the artillery barrage with Saul was actually about as perfect as you get. Teams are getting better and better as the days goes on, and it's nice to see, of course, that it's not the firebomb coming in this time. It is going to be the artillery, so back to normal. Of course, though, last time around, I think eUNITED originally got these spawns. Now it's Slasher who's making sure to get all the way in the back of the map, and more importantly, you saw just how long EnVy held on to those kill cams as well, making sure that first hill gives up. That way they get the anchor spawn towards next. So again, we talk about the details for EnVy. They've had one horrible rotation so far, but they do some of the little things right.
So glad you mentioned that, because you saw them just hold the kill cam so long. Make sure Slasher had full control, and they had a little bit of hill contact as well, and instantly spawned in. Now United forced almost to utilize some of those streaks. RCD shuts down Classic with a glide bomb. United trying to be aggressive. EnVy spawn out. That's going to be Classic and also Slasher. Prestini goes for the pinch. A wonderful break there for eUNITED. They're going to get the final 20 seconds. Now, how do you break the new hill? Prestini with the fighter pilot and glide bomb could be key here if, and this is a big if eUNITED can cross already, and that's a big gunfight right there from Silly. Shutting down Slasher. Instantly, you see RCDs go straight for the streaks.
And you see Slasher in the back. It looks like he's going to hunt down the kill, which is going to save his team. Actually, no, he's not. He's going to ignore it. So now the question is, what happens on the gunfight? So yeah, RCDs gets taken down. Now it's interesting where he's going to spawn up. He gets over by Cave because Huke's behind enemy lines, but that's actually going to tell eUNITED, and they are going on a swarm. Classic was back here once, and it looks like he was going to get traded out eventually. Finally comes in. I guess to the credit of EnVy, that buys them a little time to push up and get a little bit of control, but still, eUNITED again, they go from hill to hill, winning that second to third rotation.
Key stat right here, Silly, 20-9. A lot of people have looked at him and said he's a player that needs to step up for United. This is a phenomenal performance from him. eUNITED now with the lead, and this is going to grow, and this is going to get scary for Team EnVyUs, because the final 25 seconds, if you're EnVy, I mean, you can't even push it. You really can't. You're going to have to think about rotating over towards that final hard point. And you see, that's going to be the play. Slasher already there, and I believe there's still one streak left for eUNITED. It's going to be that glide bomb, and honestly, if you're United, you may even consider just using it straight away as soon as this new hill pops.
And I think that's going to be the plan, right? Prestini's inside this hill at the moment, and he's the one that has 2 streaks to his name. So once his team is in position, I imagine you're going to see at least the fighter pilot get reined in, and those blue arrows have to scatter. Slasher inside the hill is going to fall. eUNITED can make the move. Now, that's not enormously impactful because EnVy is going to be right back on the attack, but if Silly can just stay alive, this is going to be huge, but has to win the 1v1 against Classic, who gets traded out. So EnVy, they're keeping eUNITED outside the hill. Prestini goes from old, just flies all the way across the map and slows EnVy down.
And you see just how much of a nuisance he's being as well, where he's taking those gunfights so close to the EnVy spawn. They have to deal with Prestini before they can even think about throwing a nade at the hill, for example, or throwing a stun. He's doing a wonderful, wonderful job here for United. And it's weird, right? Because you see performances like this from this squad, and you think, well, what the hell's the problem, right? Why is there a problem with this squad? This squad should be playing like this. When you look at the individual talent they have, and you watch performances just like this, I mean, they're blowing Team EnVyUs out of the water. 221 to 102. Final 5 seconds will go to eUNITED, and now for me, this is just a formality chance. It's just close this map out.
I mean, what can EnVy do? I think Prestini even still has a glide bomb. Yeah, and there it's going to get called into not a huge effect because, again, it's only that pit center, but at the same time, EnVy so far away, just 18 seconds left. They got to sprint towards the hill. Clay's Johnny on the spot trying to get the cutoff kills, and at the very least, he's going to slow him down because RCD is in this nice power position. Classic can't really get past. Hugh can't really make a move yet, and by the time they do, eUNITED just 4 seconds away from ending this game. And I tried to set it up really cool, but no, we're going to keep going.
The boys of EnVyUs wouldn't allow it. 30 seconds left. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Silly. Turning. Burning. That is a hell of a way to end this map. 3 seconds is all they need. eUNITED will take map 1 against a struggling Team EnVyUs. And that was dominant. It was convincing. The players getting up, getting hyped as well. I mean, after that, Chancer, you may well be right.
I'm a smart guy.
You know you are.
And my favorite part about that is I was talking about Prestini. This is the map where he's allowed to play solo because we see time and time again, like on London Docks, for example, where he has 10 more engagements than the next person on his team. He plays at such a hyper pace, but if you need to have teamwork on certain maps or switch out situations, sometimes it just doesn't work out for him. But now we see this is the map where you have a solo player that can fly across the map. As long as he's winning those gunfights, it can be an enormous thorn in the opponent's side, and we saw that exact same thing, right? Like, what was the rotation from the third hill over into that circle hill? Prestini's all the way on the mid steps by himself. No one on his team is near him. Picks up one gunfight. Now EnVy's in a bad spot. Instead of getting the early control of the hill, now they have to find Prestini, who goes on to pick up like 2 more kills. He gets an turret. He keeps him so far back, and one player on that map can have a gigantic impact. He was absolutely that player on top of Silly, who had a phenomenal game, on top of RC's that's getting the score streaks. But again, the most important thing, you win the rotation from second to third once, that can win you the game. They do it twice.
Yeah, it just gives you so much time. It really does. Gives you such a big cushion that you can really just kind of rely on it, if nothing else. And more importantly, if you're winning second to third rotation, you're probably going to get some streaks out of that as well. And that's exactly what you see from eUNITED. And Envy, I mean, they just look almost confused at what just happened there in game one. Now we head over to a map 2, Saint Marie du Mont, Search and Destroy. And for one of the first times in a while, you are really seeing some big eUNITED smiles. They're having fun playing, and that was the key to their success in Atlanta. You know, you asked some of the players, hey, you know, what clicked? What clicked for you guys? And they went, we just started having fun. We just started playing Call of Duty.
You saying eUNITED was saying that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're pulling out firebombs. Like, I hope they're having a good time.
Right?
Like, they're just going for, like, pub stomping kind of a series that they have. But, yeah, eUNITED, again, when they're on form, absolutely one of the best teams in the world. They have 3 top 6 finishes to their name. Really, all the criticism we have comes from 2
weird,
weeks.
Right? Yeah.
And then all of, like, the great stuff we've been saying out of Envy. Obviously, 4th at Atlanta is nothing to shake your head at. They had a very nice event, but it comes from 2 weeks. They struggle all year, have a phenomenal 2 weeks, but at the same time, how difficult it is to keep up that level of play, because when Envy was doing it, they were just out slaying the hot mess. Like, I mean, what kind of caster would predict, like, Envy definitively going to win this event just based on 2 weeks of gameplay? Like, who would say that?
It's convenient that Maven just walked by. Very, very convenient. But to your point, Chance, I mean, if there was a time that you wouldn't want to struggle, it's right now. If there's a time you want to thrive, well outside of Chance.
I disagree, right? For Envy, I think this is the best time to struggle because they're still in a great shot for playoffs. Like, as long as they don't fall completely off the wagon,
that's what I'm talking
this
about,
is their wake-up call. Well, I mean, if they don't make playoffs, then yes, it's the worst time to struggle.
That's what I'm thinking.
They had such a nice first 2 weeks, 6-1, that as long as they can squeak by in that 4th spot, and I think they're still in 2nd or maybe 3rd now, whatever it is, like, they're still in a fine spot. They have a couple series that they need to win, and yes, it's not going to be easy, but still, they should be able to make playoffs, and now they know, oh, God, we got to reevaluate our gameplay. We need to make improvements. So I think this is a good wake-up call now, as long as they don't fall off too hard.
Key is they have to wake up, right?
Yes.
I think our big indication is going to be tomorrow. If they win their game tomorrow, okay, you can take a little bit of pressure off. If they lose tomorrow as well, assuming they lose this game, which, of course, this isn't over yet, so let's not call it before, of course, the final score, so to speak, but they could be in some trouble. They really could. And eUNITED, of course, they're trying to fight back here, save their Pro League, if nothing else. If playoffs isn't an option, of course, you want to see them back in stage 2. That's what 5th and 6th will get you. But already, I mean, you see the site control here for Team EnVyUs. Classic's there, has some support. Hook, Temp, just waiting patiently, but not planting the bomb just yet.
This is interesting. We saw Clay pull out the nade for a second, but they have 0 information on the bomb side, right? And they just somehow, like, felt that the bomb wasn't going down. So still quite a few nades for the retake. And I think the approach might be for eUNITED to send all 4 in from the same side. So that's something we haven't seen for a while. The smoke comes in. Now eUNITED are going to make their move.
That's key. Save that smoke, and now you got to utilize it. The problem is Clay has a sniper rifle, and trying to retake this side with a sniper can be a little tricky. But when Silly draws first blood, it's definitely going to open things up. Clay left watching the flank. The 3 other players from eUNITED, they're in the site. Now it becomes a 4 versus 2. You have to realize where the other players from EnVyUs are going to be. And with Clay with a sniper rifle, Slasher may actually just try and push this with 16 seconds left. This trade has to come through or Envy win this round.
Silly just needs to win the gunfight. He's not going to do just that.
Oh,
the trade, and there is plenty of time. Tough spot for Slasher, but that's the retake. That's key. How many times have we seen this entire year on St. Marie, post-patch, pre-patch, whatever it is, where teams give up control of B site and then they have one guy up top, one guy pinches from the back and like 2 on flank or whatever it is, and it never works because when you get control of the bomb site, it's so easy to watch all the angles if you get control. But if you have 2 players focus on something completely else, finally a team does it, smoke out, get everybody inside the, well, I was going to say hill, inside the bomb site and get control. I love seeing that from eUNITED. I don't know how much the Cadets had help with that, but I love that first round. And now that's got to be like a mind screwy kind of thing for Envy. Like they got to be concerned about that the rest of the game.
And it's going to get worse because first round on an attack eUNITED, they fly over towards the A side. So Envy, they're going to have to respect that. Already, the first blood did come through in favor of Envy. Clay able to respond, though, with the snipe pick for him. And Silly with bomb. He may actually think about pushing over towards the A site. Slasher's going to spot him, though. And Slasher just being a nuisance, if nothing else.
Nade's going to come in maybe to weaken him up a bit, but I wouldn't be upset at all right now if eUNITED wraps this all the way back to B, because I think that's a lot easier to watch with a sniper aim from Clay. I think you can watch it from ammo, and if you get it down here, it's a tough spot, and I think that's the plan from eUNITED. They feel the pressure coming in, but to the credit of Envy, they got a player wrapping back. Classic probably not going to want to challenge that again, but now Clay's job is to watch the flank. Hukes in the site. Did he not even see that first player come by? And it's not going to matter. Arcedes has been disgusting in S&D. He's disgusting right there. And that might be the round win. Clayster's in the back watching flank. It's important to hit this shot. He's going to miss it as well, but now his team has the information, hits the second, and that will be your round. United going up 2-0, and I like the strats. Show A, wrap it back to B, destroy Hugo off a head glitch.
I mean,
whatever you got to do.
that gunfight from Arcedes on Hoop wins them that round.
And I don't know how Hugh didn't even see. I don't know if he did see the first guy, if he's playing for the information of like, I'm going to let this guy sneak past. Like, I don't know what was going on.
I think he just got horrifically bad timing with the angle, right? Because he had the tower straight to his right-hand side. I think as he kind of jiggled right and left, the first play from eUNITED actually managed to get site control. You expect that kill to be traded out, nevertheless, even if he does win that 1v1 against Arcedes?
I mean, yeah, well, even then, like, you can still buy his team quite a bit of time so the bomb doesn't get down. So
you play ring around.
It would be interesting. It'd be closer to a 50-50, but good lord, man, Arcedes just win some gunfights for himself.
Ends up not even mattering. As now Envy back on the attacking side, and once again, United, they just kind of say, all right, well, we'll give you site control. Arcedes, of course, up top. Hoop's going to see that. Doesn't want to reveal his position just yet. No, again, deja vu from what we saw last time. Bomb isn't being planted, and Clay says, all right, boys, you're not going to plant the bomb. I have a sniper rifle. I'll peek you all day.
Well, the great hope now is right now Slasher. He's the guy coming on the flank, and this is just some wild timing. He's going to get two players actually just got past him. So this is going to be a free kill for him. This is going to even things up to a 3 versus 3, but at the same time, eUnited's a bit spread out. You see Slasher's actually going to be pinned back in the area, but now Persini's going to fall. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be advantage towards Team EnVyUs.
I mean, you have a 3v2. Bomb, of course, now being planted. Does Arcedes get some decent timing, or at least stay alive? Not going to happen. Silly. 1v3. Can you produce magic when your team needs it the most? Rechallenges temp. Doesn't matter. He falls. Envy get their first round on the board, and you pointed it out there. Slasher with some fantastic timing. Comes all the way around the back and opens up eUnITED like a book there. Really nothing they could do.
I mean, the timing obviously was great from Slasher, but at the same time, eUnITED not paying enough attention to the full flank, that is, because, again, 2 players, they'd turn around. If they even trade out that kill, that should be that round. Maybe not guaranteed. The 2v3, if you're inside the bomb site, can go your way, but interesting stuff. Slasher making the necessary play, and now eUnITED might have to pull another strategy out of the bag if they're worried about the flank, but still, they showed A last time. It looks like they're going to show a hefty amount of mid-map presence this time.
Yeah, they're just going to fly straight at it. Nope, Clay puts the sniper rifle away. Doesn't matter. First blood comes in for Slasher. Persini there to trade down low. And Persini maybe a little too aggressive. Doesn't check his corners. And ultimately falls. Advantage numerically back in favor of Team EnVyUs. Arcedes and Silly still alive. 2v3.
Seems to be another example of Persini just playing a little bit too fast, because now they just got to get a pick. I know Arcedes has won this gunfight before. Maybe he can do it again, but I don't even think Huke's going to play games. But no, Silly, they actually go for the bait and switch. So it's going to be interesting as well. Now the gunfight up top, the nade smoke going in favor of Silly. I don't even think that, who was it, Slasher? I don't even think Slasher could see his name. Just like that, they get the site control.
Classic needs to be really, really careful here. He peeks. Arcedes is going to see him. 2v1 now, and Arcedes gets the information. Slasher up top, and Slasher falls. eUnITED, a man down, still win the round.
And that was like 2 bait and switches there. I think Slasher was over top trying to look for Arcedes. Silly had his back covered, and we saw the early one. Arcedes picks on Hugh. Silly comes jumping around the corner, and that is not an easy gunfight for Silly to win.
Very difficult.
So very impressive stuff coming out of him. And then, of course, even just forcing Slasher to back up when he's on top. Just that nade smoke, just blocking off the player's name from over top. It just, again, everything that could go right for eUnITED kind of did right there.
Yeah, now they have a 3-1 lead. They go back over towards the defensive round. Envy back on the attack, and look at that scoreboard for Envy. Hookah 0-3, 2 gunfights, which, I mean, you hate to say it, but realistically should have won. Classic 1-4 as well with the bomb. We'll see if potentially either of those two can turn things around here in round 5, but Arcedes already up top, ready and waiting, fires, managed to get himself a double if he's lucky. Classic falls, 4v3.
Now we're going to see the bait and switch skills of Envy, or he will just wide P on a head glitch. And granted, Slasher came close to winning it, but he didn't. Arcedes gets the nade kill as well. That player's caught out, and that's just a gunfight win for eUnITED. And that's the first round we've seen Envy just not go balls deep to get control of the site, and it cost them. Arcedes gets set up top early. Easy gunfights for him to win.
Yep. Arcedes says, all right, thanks, boys. Wins the first, drops down, wins the second. And as soon as he's winning those gunfights, you see immediate reaction there from the rest of eUnITED. They push, and they close out that round with ease. And eUnITED looking fantastic here today. Let's see if they can continue this momentum through. And for Team EnVyUs, their woes continue in week 3 of Division B. But, of course, it's not over just yet. United back on the attacking side.
And Paradox making sure to point out that Clay's rocking the Expeditionary now so he can get a nade and a stun on sight. But Slasher, meanwhile, just over by A by himself. He's able to pick up one, and you see Temps watching the cross as well. So now this is a very rough spot that United, yes, they have control of sight, but they do not have the man advantage. So maybe Clay can get a pick if someone from B overextends, but that player is not budging. No one from Envy is even giving United any opportunity to get a pick.
And this is key. Just don't give them opportunity, right? Because you've given United opportunities previously, and they've taken the opportunities and they've won the rounds. So now just try and pin them in on the A site. That's the game plan. Now you have a 4v2. Clay's still over in ammo, so basically you have Arcedes by himself, but he backs off, and now you really are relying on a little bit of lady luck here for eUNITED, because if you're Envy, you could afford to just have a man stick that bomb.
Well, if I'm Arcedes, I don't care about winning this round. I care about not dying in the situation, because you just want to play for those streaks. It's a 4v2. You can't expect too much. And I think they're aware. I think they're definitely going to be playing cautious. Glacier goes for a pick. He gets traded. Arcedes actually makes the move. But you see how late he did it at. He knew the bomb was getting defused. He just wants one kill at the very final second to the round to not get traded out. Might have been a little bit off with his timings because Classic was weak, but that's the correct play. If you're going to play it 3v4, Arcedes, if he dies there, that's a huge wasted opportunity. But still, Envy, they got to claw themselves back in it. They got to get the pick on Arcedes as well.
Most definitely do. We'll keep our eye on that fight. Here is Arcedes, an airborne hunker mid-rush. We saw him do this earlier on. He got full control, but his teammates are in B, so he knows, hey, hold on, maybe I have to watch the cross. The smoke grenades come through. And Arcedes, again, being so patient because he recognizes those streaks. And honestly, with the nade here, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't just thrown this at the site.
He might just not be falling for the bait, but Slasher's going to get it down. So now he's looking over top. There's no smoke to get out, so maybe tries to invest the nade in this situation. There you go. Gets a bullet on him, tries to get the kill, but it's not going to be enough. Slasher doesn't even stand up high enough. So now the rotation's coming in, but the gunfights, just none of them right now are going the way of United. Placer finally able to pick up one, but still a tough spot. He is weak. The player not going to go all out to try and hunt him down. And Clay is going to be able to pick up two, and just like that, 2v2, time's running down.
But here's the problem. You have Arcedes playing so passive because he doesn't want to die that realistically, this clutch may not actually happen. It's a 2v1, and ideally you want Arcedes to hop the bomb, but instead he's playing so passive it doesn't matter. He wins the gunfight somehow. That is a fight he has no right to win. A 5 streak for Arcedes. He gets the streaks. That was a 2v4. A 2v4, which Clay basically single-handedly said, Arcedes, don't worry, pal. Play your life. You play for streaks. I got this. He picks Envy apart. Arcedes with the final kill for streaks. God damn, what a kill.
Dude, you want to talk about a vibe kill? Every member of Envy just had to watch their teammate get world starred. All 3 of them are dead. All of them just had to say, like, oh no, this is a massive collapse. Time's on your side. Just pick up this kill, you win the round. And oh no, that's rough. That is going to be a very tough pill to swallow.
It's an even tougher pill when you know that Arcedes now has streaks too, because they all saw it happen, right? They flick through as Clay defuses the bomb, and now the problem really are getting out of hand for EnVyUs. Vibe bomb instantly used. You see, of course, a couple of players using Mountain, but Arcedes knows where Hoop plays. He's picked him off that heady a fair few times already this game. 4v2, Envy. They've collapsed here in St. Mary.
And now the bomb's going to get planted. They have the man advantage. The only hope right now is Slasher once again on the full flank, but I don't know. He's going to have to get quite a few kills because Clayster might even be aware of it in the top window. He might read this at a certain point, but here's the opportunity. The bomb actually hasn't gone down, and Slasher not even going to be able to get the kill. So that was the only opportunity. Temp actually up top is going to get one, and okay, maybe we sold him a little bit short. eUNITED, they're just not planting the bomb, not getting kills, just kind of hanging out, but still, they do have that man. Well, they don't even have the man advantage. Oh, now they do.
That bomb should have been planted a long time ago. Slasher, of course, last man alive. Clay's going for the fight. Meanwhile, his teammates fighting. Clay just plays his life. The best decision possible there, and with 40 seconds left, Slasher reads Clay's play. Does read it. Doesn't matter. Clay gets the pick.
He quick-stroked him too, right?
I think he did.
I kind of want to see this.
eUNITED now 2-0 up. You want to see it? How about that? Slasher falls as the team EnVyUs. eUNITED now looking good, and that is not what you want to see if you're an Envy fan.
No, he doesn't look tilted. He looks like he's saying, all right, guys, like, we'll turn this series around. We'll get the reverse sweep. That is 100% what's going through the players' minds on Envy.
He looks like me when I play rank play.
Yeah, no, they look dead on the inside. That is not good. At the same time, though, I was going to say I think eUNITED just, like, out-strategized their opponent, but at a certain point, that wasn't even the case. At a certain point, it was clutching 2v4s, world starring your opposition, and then just, like, getting streaks that was... They won on every front possible.
If you're Envy, you watch that VOD back, and
cry.
There comes a point where you just gotta say, all right, why are we not winning these gunfights? Like, let's be honest, there's simple gunfights that you should be expected to win, and they just didn't do it. Because of that, eUNITED now have a 2-0 lead. Envy's week is getting scary, Chance. It really is.
And it's not just like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Very impressive performance coming out of eUNITED. 2 maps in a row. Envy, though, they've pulled off reverse sweeps before. They're going to try and do it again. Of course, though, if that's going to happen, we don't know. But we will get back after this commercial break.
eUNITED versus Team EnVyUs, the current game on the main stage. eUNITED with a 2-0 lead, and it's this man right here on your screen that just got the CWL Play of the Game presented by Scuff Gaming. The Search and Destroy. Me and Chance were just talking about it. It was Clay that did all the dirty work here for eUNITED, but it was Arcedes who stayed alive the entire round, then recognized the opportunity mid-map, him versus Temp, and that's just a gunfight that you expect to see Temp win. Temp lands so many bullets, and Arcedes just deletes Temp. We'll see you later. That, the 2v4 clutch.
Okay, not a complete world star. The way it worked from the camera switch, it looked bad. It wasn't as bad as we thought. At the same time, that is hyper-awareness from Arcedes, and that's still a gunfight that Temp should more than likely win. But
it did look like Arcedes turned on him. But still,
oh man,
for streaks, feels bad if you're an Envy fan. It definitely does. eUNITED, of course, 2-0 up. And it pains me to say this, but Chance may have been right in his predictions. You said that you thought eUNITED was going to win this one. I'm kind of confused why I said Envy. I really am. I had that stat in the back of my mind when I did those predictions, of course. I mentioned it earlier on. eUNITED haven't beaten a North American opponent during the Pro League, but now they're a map away.
Oh, it's still not easy, right? Because I know I was cracking jokes about Envy, like they look tilted after the last map, understandably so, but they have come back with reverse sweeps, right? Like against, that's how they open their tournament, right? Against Red Reserve, they lose their first map, they complete their reverse sweep, and then they find themselves in the exact same situation, and they almost do it again. So when we crack jokes about them being tilted, absolutely, they have proven already that they are fully capable of bouncing back. So eUNITED, they don't want to take this lightly at all, and I just want to backtrack another second and say, when Pristini's jumped off the map on Gibraltar to open up the series, I was like, oh no, here we go. But very nice job of turning things around, Ben. But oh, that's the most concerned I've ever been.
Luckily, eUNITED doing you well so far. They're 2-0 up. We now go to game 3. Capture the flag, and we're on Flag Tower. Early on, it's Envy that get the first few kills. Actually, Clay, last man alive. Bottom middle, though, should be able to just delay this push long enough that his teammates spawn up.
Yeah, and Clay has had some pretty fantastic performances on this map as well. Even with an AR, I know it's a small map, but he can pull it off, and that is the rock on your team. Like, if he is the last one up, he needs to win at least one gunfight, if not pushing forward to get more. Gotta imagine Temp's gonna be able to trade this one out, and that's gonna be the case, sub OP. Yeah, it is a nice job on Envy off the break, nice job on eUNITED to respond. Textbook stuff coming out so far on Flag Tower.
It's funny, you know, you mentioned Clay. I was talking about this earlier on the other day. When it comes to JCap and CTF, he's just an absolute demon. He's a phenom at the game type, if nothing else. And you look at your old school players, your veterans, you know, like Clay, like JCap. But when we get to that game 3, they can be such an influential factor. Already Clay 4-2. Managed to defend off one team EnVyUs push. The flag pulled. Is it going to be able to get anywhere? Doesn't look like it. RC's with some bad timing. And Hook cleans up the double and gets the flag return as well.
Yeah, tough spot for Alec right there. He has to, well, either win the gunfight or get the flag out. He hesitated just for a moment because he was like, I need to go for the flag because Envy's coming off spawn. But yeah, Envy doing a nice job on the defensive stand. They are turning into an offensive push. I think it's Silly that's going for the chase, but he's going to get cut off. Pristini, though, off spawn, barely able to go get that flag return. But now he's going for the hunt. He picks up 2, and just like that, eUNITED doing a phenomenal job making that defensive stand.
And the key right there from Pristini was he didn't push that right-hand side lane. He cut inside. That forces Team EnVyUs to spawn right at the very back. eUNITED have all the information. This should be another clean sweep. It really should. 3 go down. Temp, last man. Temp finds a double. Temp looking for the triple. He pulls out the pistol. He has to chase down Pristini. Pristini just trying to fly. He turns. He wins the gunfight as well. And that should be home sweet home. More importantly, fully streaked out is Pristini. But again, I have to give props for that play. The intuition to just cut into mid-map, not push that far right lane. You force Envy to spawn right at the back because you have Clay behind you pushing the right.
And that's a very rough start. I don't know have the stats for this, but I feel like teams oftentimes, especially in CTF in general, but more so on Flag Tower, they get that first flag, and it seems like it just makes things easier, and the streaks are obviously going to be a huge help with that. Of course, though, 2 kills going the way of Envy. They're going to bunch up right next to each other. Silly's going to be able to win 1. The streaks come in anyway. Silly gets both, and again, another defensive stand. That one not as impressive as the first, but Silly doing a nice job there to pick up 2.
It looked like that should have been another opportunity for a counter cap, but it's Temp on that right-hand side being a nuisance. He finds himself a few kills, 3 in a row, currently sitting at 9 and 5. That's the one thing I will say about Temp. If he ever feels like he's underperformed in a specific map throughout his career, he comes back with a vengeance, and he is so unbelievably talented that when he is playing on that kind of 5th gear or 6th gear, I really feel like there's not that many players better than him in the world.
At the same time, though, it's not going to be easy in this series, right? Because oftentimes we see that, when we see the Pristini or Silly has a bit of a slow game, or at least that's what we've seen in the Pro League so far. That is absolutely not the case this series. They have both been very, very solid, and like we talked about Pristini map 1, but Silly probably even had overall the better game. Now, of course, they're trying to get the flag out once again. Pristini just flying as quickly as possible. Silly dies, but he buys his teammate enough time to get the flag out, and that is a chain from the twins. Hands off the flag from one to the next to get that next cap in. Still with that mortar strike as well, just in case they need to relieve a little bit of pressure in the future. But yeah, eUNITED, I mean, could you ask for a better first half, at least at the moment? But Envy, it would be very nice for them. Get 1 more flag in before that second side, and you buy yourself a lot of breathing room.
You almost feel like they need to.
Yeah.
You almost feel like they need a flag here before the end of this half, because if they don't, they're digging themselves into such a big, deep hole. It's very hard to see them digging their way out. A minute left in the first half. It's 2-0 in favor of eUNITED. They have the numbers advantage again. It looks like they're considering pushing straight through, but Temp stays strong, wins a big defensive gunfight, as does Hook. And all of a sudden you have RC's left, bottom middle, just trying to play his life, but Classic knows he's there. eUNITED now on the defensive.
Gets stiffed now. Tem wins that big one-on-one. Now MD can pour on the pressure, and they are coming from every which way. Got to win the gunfight, so Tem's going to get the flag. They always push towards the middle with this, and that's going to be the case. And you see he's got the teamwork as well. Now eUNITED, they're on the left side of the map, but here's the mortar strike from Bristini, and that is as big as you could possibly get. Wow. Cleans up all three, and you talk about defensive stands. We hate on the mortar strike from time to time. That's the best one we've seen in World War II.
Yeah, we often give it a little bit of flack, but a triple kill there defends your flag too. A wonderful, wonderful play from eUNITED. And hey, this round isn't over. 10 seconds left. Honestly, Clay could pull that flag. He recognizes Temps there, but has to push the flag. Pulls it. This could be good for Streaks as well. If he actually gets the kill with the flag, doesn't matter. Not going to happen. And EnVy wisely leave that flag there just for a few moments. They may be in a little bit of trouble, though, because Bristini gets some fantastic timing. He says, well, hold on a minute. If we get a couple of kills, I may be able to pull. He's put himself in a clutch position, too, but this is tough. This is really tough. What do you do if you're Bristini? You've just watched everyone fall. Bear in mind the automatic return could come through here as well.
Well, Silly going huge to win too. Bristini grabbed the flag, and now he's coming back, but he does have a big marker on the name. But if Temp gets cleaned up and he's going to have the flag, this might come down to a 1v1 gunfight, flag v flag. But no, Temp's actually going to get clear, and Clayster spending extra time to protect his teammate. That's actually going to get slipped through. So this is maybe best possible case scenario for Team EnVyUs. They might be able to get one at the end, but they got to make a move, and they got to do it fast. Clayster and another player, that's going to be Slasher, actually run past each other, but no one for EnVy is playing defense. That flag's going to be down, and now Clayster, he's home free, makes the dive in, but it looks like Slasher wins his gunfight as well, but Arcees comes out on top. The question is, does he have time? Gotta hit the dolphin dive, and he does. eUNITED going up 3 flags at the half, Ben.
What a fantastic final few moments there. Clay wins the gunfight, gets the flag returned as well. Meanwhile, the other side, a big, big clutch for eUNITED. 3-0 at the half. The woes for EnVy are just getting bigger and bigger.
Bro, how many little things for EnVy are just going wrong? Like, they both almost make hero plays. Like, yeah. I mean, obviously, you might want to put a little bit more pressure on the defensive to protect your flag carrier, but you got to push for the flag. They almost do it. They're an inch away from going up 1 flag to none. Think about the search and destroy, that gunfight just to give RCD streaks, and so many little things. Ignoring Gibraltar. On Gibraltar, they just got smoked, but I don't know, man. A 3 flag lead, I feel like it doesn't quite do the game justice. I mean, even if like a 3-piece from a mortar strike doesn't come in, EnVy might have that flag on board. We never see stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but things going eUNITED's way for a change, right? I'm sure they're sat back saying, well, you know, it's about goddamn time. We got a little bit of luck on our side, and the 3-0 lead here against EnVy. EnVy needs to start stringing things together very, very quickly.
Clayster, once again, is actually just going to jump over a player, so Classic gets that trade.
You see what I'm seeing here?
No, I don't see what you're
Clay, if we go back to Clay.
Did he have the firebomb on again?
It isn't the firebomb. Clay's getting adventurous today with his
streaks. What, he put on a Warden or a Cerberus?
There you go.
I don't even know what that is. I genuinely just, I've never seen 950. I'm trying, is that the anti-aircraft guns? No, that's not them. I'm gonna go talk to Burns. I'll be right back.
I want to say it is. Okay, well, yeah, spare play. Chances actually gonna go speak to Burns. 3 minutes 45 still to go. As I mentioned before, eUNITED 3-0 up. EnVy in a world of pain. They most definitely are. Still possible, of course, for them to try and make this comeback as Chance comes running back with some hopeful intel.
Anti-aircraft gun, that's what they said. Yeah, it's the one that so if EnVy manages to get streaks, which is not looking very likely, you kind of want, I guess, Temp to get him since he's 20 and 13, but I mean, Clay has to earn those as well. So I have no idea why he's putting that on. It seems unlikely to get a strong use, but at the same time, they're up 3 flags to none. So I'm not trying to question the man, but I don't know. Temp does have a fighter pilot, so I highly doubt we'll get to see it, but you never know. But the situation right now, EnVy, they're a little bit stuck in their base. Slasher gets the kill on Silly, so they get a little bit of breathing room, but the left side still is completely open for him, and now they're running out of time. EnVy is in a situation where they have to get flags on board. They have to make concessions. You can't afford to play slow and methodical anymore. You can't necessarily watch every single lane. You have to do everything at a ridiculously rapid pace.
I'm just having a quick glance, and I'm looking at, since EnVy's been back, I believe they've only won 1 map. And that was today versus EUNITED, since they've been back.
Well, yeah, because they got 3 over against CG.
Yeah. Obviously, it's only 2 games, but you include this, and, well, it's more than likely going to be 3. So the EnVy woes definitely continuing. 3-0, still 2.5 minutes left here. Slasher, of course, with that flag. He's good to run this one home. So damage limitation if nothing else, but it could be the start of an epic comeback here for Team EnVyUs. 2 minutes, 2 flags, definitely possible, Chance.
Absolutely, especially in a map like Flag Tower. It takes all of like 20 seconds to run across the map, so if you touch the flag, that's all you need, and you got extra time to work with, potentially. Of course, though, eUNITED, they have had 3 or 4 kind of heroic stops to their name, and they're going to be able to clear out their base as well. So, Temp, he's had himself a very nice game. 24 and 15, he's the man leading the charge, and there you go. That might be the opening 2-piece they need, but then Silly just instantly responds, and again, the clutch gunfights from Silly have just been on point this entire series.
And the key is he doesn't just get the clutch 2-piece, instantly so aggressive. He's trying to put pressure on the map. He's also dictating the spawn, so his teammates have a little bit of information. Classic should fall very soon. You should see that in the kill feed. RC's trying to hunt him down. Surely Classic fall. Well, never mind. Never mind at all. Minute and a half still to go, though. Envy, need 2 more flags, and this could be the start. Again, Classic with that pick on Arcees, he gets a second on Clay, and now you have eUNITED in a position that they just should not have been in. Prestini surely goes down, and Classic says, well, see you later, lads. There's the flag. They're going to be down by 1. This is very possible now.
He is home free. Yeah, I think it's what, Temp? Yeah, he needs to make sure he stays, and he's got to not necessarily go for spawn kills, but play hyper-aggressive, and Silly's going to win that important 1v1. Slasher, though, he's behind enemy lines. He can pick up this 1v1 against RC. There's no problem, and he can get this flag as well. You see, Classic wins another gunfight. He has to win another one-on-one, but Slasher, we know the man's clutch, and he's going to pull it off. Prestini not going to win that one. You see the streaks coming in as well, and just like this, Envy, they're home free. They're going to be able to tie this game up.
An utter collapse from Team eUNITED here. Envy, credit where credit is due. You had a damn near impossible task, and you've done it. You have. You've tied up the game, and this isn't over yet. They still have a glide bomb to use. Classic is 20 points away from an artillery barrage. He's going to throw the nade. Arcees could be in some trouble here. He's going to fly at him. Knows he's weak. Can he find the kill? He can. That's full streaks with 17 seconds left. If Temp stays alive here, you could see Classic use those streaks to close this one out if they can somehow touch that flag. eUNITED could be in dangerous territory right here.
Well, if I'm Hugh, I let players run past me. I want Slasher to get another kill before this half ends, because Slasher's, I think, a kill away from streaks as well. So, Classic, he's got a couple to his name. This could be huge. Slasher, again, if you see off the break, he gets a kill. Envy, without a doubt, should be able to pull off this overtime.
Classic with those streaks. I mean, he's in a great position. No one was able to pull the flag, so obviously he saves them. And you have to think, what Envy just did shouldn't really have been possible.
I mean, you talk about the entire game, not only that massive run at the end, but if eUNITED doesn't get like the 3 or 4 clutch stops that they had, eUNITED could have easily been up like, what, 4 or 5 flags to like 2 maybe, because then eUNITED doesn't get a counter. So this could be a very different game, again, outside of the clutches. So props to Clayster and Silly, who've been pretty solid so far, but the Twins, they really need to step it up, and they got to do it fast.
You want to talk about props? I'm giving Temp some mad props. 13 and 18. Classic not too far behind. Slasher, he gets streaks. Temp just jumps around the corner and deletes Arcees, and this could be the first flag touch here in OT. Temp's going to grab it, not going to get very far because it's Silly again who wins the defensive gunfight. Classic wins one, but Slasher wants to push through with full streaks, but eUNITED will survive. So it's not going to be a massively fast first flag. The problem is for eUNITED, them trying to cap a flag itself is going to be so tough, merely because of the amount of streaks Team EnVyUs have in their back pocket.
At the same time, though, you see they are putting Mountain on. Arcee's going to be able to touch that flag and has that to his name. And he's going to be able to get out, but he's got to win the gunfight, so Envy doing a nice job. Now, if Envy can get a little bit of control to their name, keep in mind, they have 4 streaks, I think, if not 5, that they can work with. If eUNITED's pinned in the back, even with Mountain, streaks are going to do damage, and now Temp gets that kill. So pause for a second, call some streaks in. You see the fighter pilot coming in. We'll see if he can find anyone on the map. It's not going to be easy, though, and you see the Mountain. It's doing pretty well for itself.
Yeah, they recognize they have to keep that Mountain class on for a while, but Classic is behind. He should fall instantly, and it's eUNITED's back firmly planted against the wall, and the pressure is still coming. Slasher ready and waiting to try and make a play, and they don't realize that he's still in the base. A couple of players now do wrap back. It's almost as if they've just kind of recognized, wait a minute, where's Slasher? They clean up the kill. They get 2 players. Temp, though, still alive. He falls. 3 players down for EnVyUs. Classic still up. Bear in mind, still has 2 streaks to his name. May not even have to use them just quite yet because his teammates have come off spawn.
It does feel weird that Slasher has been the sneaky sub player this game. Like, that just, it feels pretty uncommon, but again, he's gone relatively huge for his team quite a few times. But again, you just have to keep highlighting the streaks. And at the same time, maybe the Mountain's going to be a counter, but also if you have to run Mountain the entire time, that means you're going to be at some sort of a disadvantage. eUNITED, though, pouring on the pressure. Slash is by himself in the back. He doesn't even win that 1v1. Classic now has to go huge, and he's able to at least get a stop, and that's going to slow him down. But these players off spawn, the question is, do they invest those streaks?
And when Classic died as well, he was the last one up. He was a player with those streaks. Slash is going to have to use his first. The artillery barrage firmly placed on eUNITED's flag. Now, do you go for this?
You run straight through.
You have
you die, you got to play it right.
He's going to die for it, and he gets it as well. Wow. eUNITED cap the flag in OT. You called it. You just have to go for it.
And we've seen Red Reserve do this before as well. The other team has a massive amount of streaks, but you throw on Mountain, it makes them so tough to use. But yeah, I think in that situation, even if that player dies the artillery, the next guy can go. Yeah. Someone will be able to get through, but that's a very nice flag cap. Still a lot of time, though, for Envy.
Either that or you get 4-piece and you feel real.
Or you just lose.
But it works out in eUNITED's favor there. 2 minutes left, and it's a great start for Classic. The double opens up the right-hand lane instantly. Clay has to track back, recognizing he's there. And again, Classic with those 2 streaks, the question is, when is he going to want to use them? Honestly, I would have loved to have seen the artillery barrage placed on where he thinks eUNITED were going to spawn, because that could have given them a chance to potentially go for a flag, especially considering his teammates coming up spawn could have potentially assisted that, but instead, Slasher still alive, as is Classic. Classic finally falls. Silly gets a double. Beautiful, beautiful play from him again in this CTF. How many times have we said clutch kills from Silly this game?
Yeah, they've been on point with those flanks as well. Yes. Now the streaks are coming in, and guess who doesn't have Mountain on? Well, that's going to be Envy, so they might need to make the switch. Now everyone's going to be at a potential disadvantage, but no, Glaciers actually pulled out Airborne, even with the AR in hands, but gunfight's going back and forth, and this is starting to get desperation time for Envy. Again, they're trying to pull off the reverse sweep, but you got to win that game number 3 to even get that ball rolling.
They've done so well to tie up the game at 3-3. Silly, nah, my friend, you were spotted there. Clay, by the way, 36 kills to his name. He's answered Classic intent, but all of a sudden, there's an opening for Team EnVyUs once again. 58 seconds left. Streaks used. RCDs goes down. Flag in Classic's hand. Silly has to use the fighter pilot. Can he at least find one? Slasher goes down. The flag still up and alive. Who can stop the flag? I believe it's going to be number 6. It's Clay. Clay has to get a double. Clay falls mid-map. Flag could be home sweet home, but no, it's Prestini. Has to go big for eUNITED here. Spots the flag carrier, spots the support, but he's in a world of pain. Classic does fall. RCD's with the ping. RCD's with a double. Is Prestini still there? He isn't. He falls, and the flag is run in. Envy survived game 3.
In a nasty way. Temp is pissed. I don't blame him. He had a massive game, but the clutches from eUNITED were insane. It just wasn't enough at the end. I mean, you see RCs picks up this too. You think there's potential, but Prestini falls in the back. He gets traded, but the run that Envy just had to go on in the final, 2 minutes, I think, of the first, well, not the first half, the second half of like the non-overtime situation of regulation time was nasty. To clutch up in that overtime right there, even dealing with the streaks that came in, the fighter pilot slowed him down. Prestini's able to get out in the back, but they clutch up, man. It was a hell of a game on Flak Tower, but they did clutch up, and writing isn't on the wall yet. Envy can still just say we've got playoffs locked up, no big deal, but they still got to win those next 2. And
I don't know about locked up. I don't know about that. If they win this series, I think that's when you can feel very.
That's what I'm saying. If they get that far.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, a great comeback there from Envy, both in, as you pointed out, regulation time and overtime as well. They stay alive here in the series. They keep the reverse sweep dream alive, which is going to be important. Map number 4 is completely gone from my brain. Was it Ardennes, I want to say, as game 4? You were on the desk. You did the vetoes.
I'm trying to remember. I know Gibraltar was map 1.
Yes. Forest. Yeah,
Forest.
it was Ardennes.
We just got confirmation from our producer. Thank you, Ethan, because, I was drawing a blank. And I think eUNITED played that earlier today, did they not, against Epsilon? I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. And I think they had a convincing win, like a 252. Oh, no, they played. Well, no, they didn't get to it, actually, because they destroyed. Yeah, that's right.
It was a.
So I was trying to think how they did. It turns out they didn't do anything.
Well, eUNITED, of course, as we said, 2-1 up. They head over to an Ardennes Forest game 4. And it was interesting, right? Because the one thing I do want to point out is when we took the camera shots of the teams after that game, Temp furious, rightfully so. Clay laughing. It was almost as if it should have been the opposite way around.
It was a good game. It was a great game, I guess, from both sides. Like, I have to imagine even the players at a certain point were entertained. But Ben, I got a question for you. Have you played like ranked or anything like that since the most recent patch that came in a couple days ago?
A couple of days ago? No.
Because I didn't realize this until now, but you kind of look like a leprechaun. Oh, I should have waited till we were on camera for that, just to get your reaction on that. That was great. The ginger hair. You don't have an Irish accent, but yeah, it's the update. It's the St. Patrick's Day thing.
I can do a killer Irish accent, actually.
Can you?
And why did you say that to Phil? Why me?
Why? Because I'm casting with you, and I looked at you, and I saw, like, you got the hair going on, it's fiery and all that, and I was like, damn, you look like a leprechaun.
Well, thanks.
No problem, man.
I guess. Thanks.
So, Matt Ford, would you rather talk about that?
Yeah,
okay.
I kind of would.
That's all you?
Than being a leprechaun. Anyway, game 4, United still with the lead. I have to ask you. Did you see the reverse sweep? No, I do. Did you see the reverse sweep? Did you see it happening? Did you see it possible? Was that game 3 convincingly? Well, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't convincing. But was it enough, you think, that EnVy can draw their energy and win this game 4 and take us to a game 5?
Yes, I think they definitely could. I think, again, Arceus and Mercedes both had a pretty slow flat tower, right? And that's been a problem in the past. Normally, it's either, Arceus has been great recently, so we haven't seen it as much from him, but we have seen inconsistent performances for someone on the team of United. So I think there's the potential for that again. And I think on Forest is a map that EnVy, in theory, should be great at. Because, like, Classic, even at times, is great with an AR. Temp can pull out an AR if he really wants to. And, of course, Slasher, that should be his bread and butter. It's not going to be easy, because Clayster's been a beast of recently as well. And we know Arceus is also a great second AR. But the problem for me is, if they force the map 5, we saw how creative eUNITED was on the first search and destroy. We saw the details they did right. Like, think of even that bait and switch we saw from, what was it, Arceus and Silly to rip Huke off the head glitch on, like, the sandbags. We didn't see that from EnVy. We saw people just like Slasher just wide peeking, trying to take those gunfights straight up, and that was when they could have had a triple bait and switch going on, but they didn't try to execute the details, and that's something eUNITED did a much better job in. They mixed in different strats. They had different retakes for the B site. They had Clay trying to snipe in different situations, and then wrapping it back on top of some very nice kills we saw from Arceus. So I think if it comes to that last search and destroy, I mean, obviously it's only one map, it's only one series, but I don't know. I feel like eUNITED might just have the edge for there.
So apparently we're actually going to Docks Hardpoint.
Ethan lied to us?
Yeah, Ethan lied to us. It's okay, but as we said, it's going to be a Docks Hardpoint game 4. So don't worry about that. We'll get that underway as quickly as we can. But what I was going to say here, Chance, is let's say EnVy do win this, right? And it goes 2-2. If you're eUNITED, you had some phenomenal lady luck on your side in the first few maps. You were feeling great. You were energetic. I feel like that's when that potential collapse could come through once again. Going into that game 5, you have to feel like all of a sudden they would be like, well, we were 2-0 up, we didn't close it out. What's wrong? Why are we failing to close out these series? That's the only thing that worries me. Of course, the London Docks game 5 search and destroy. I know you can give a lot of love to the eUNITED cadets for some of eUNITED strats in search and some of the help that they've been able to provide to the professional team. But that game 5, if we go there, it's a scary, scary place.
It's going to be tough, though, because EnVy on this map, they were undefeated in the Pro League. They were fantastic in Atlanta, on Docks as well, but they were ridiculously outslaying their opponents. And I think so far, today and yesterday, they lost once to EG and lost once to Unilad. So their best map now, it might not be their bread and butter anymore. Of course, eUNITED, I know they fell on this map yesterday as well, but I mean, they fell to the hands of LG, and we know LG is pretty damn good at hardpoint. So I think at the very least, it'll be competitive. But from what we've seen from EnVy, they just have to have a nasty performance. They have to have multiple players going just seriously positive to get this win, but it's feasible.
Key play for me is going to be Temp. You know Slasher's going to do the work. He's done it time and time and time again. Temp had a phenomenal Game 3 CTF, and I mean a phenomenal performance, and he needs to continue that through here if EnVy want to try and complete the reverse sweep, and that's a great start. Finds the first pick on Prestini. Trying to see if he can find that second, but to no avail. Clay jumps in the hill for eUNITED, so they're going to get the early points. But as I mentioned, the slaying prowess here from Team EnVy is what really, really scares me here for United.
I mean, I'm terrified of Slasher on this map because we saw it against Red Reserve where he goes like 47-20 and he gets a nice start at 3-0, make it 4-0, working towards streaks. And if he gets this kill, then right off the bat, and there you go. That's the AR battle. Clay has to win it, and he doesn't. That's the perfect start you could have. Yes, eUNITED gets back in the hill, but the streaks could potentially be huge just to win that rotation battle over the Main Street hill. And something Maven was particular about is he thinks EnVy is the best Main Street hill in the game right now. Of course, though, Silly, he's going to have to go big. He gets that first intro kill, but he's going to need some help, and it's not going to be there quick enough. You and Slasher each picking up a kill, and you heard Temp in the background, picked up a nice 2Ps. If he stays hot like he was in the Black Tower, that could be huge for EnVy.
And bear in mind, EnVy have streaks now as well to break this hill if they want to. And, well, there's a surprise. The glide bomb calls in. Slasher actually doesn't find the pick, but it doesn't matter because he has a gun in his hand. He almost found the double. Just the single will do. He still has a fighter pilot to use if he wants to, but with 47 seconds left, there's plenty of time to be picked up here. But EnVy, they want another attack here just with their weapons. They win the gunfights. Do they take control of the hill, though? That's the question. It's Classic that wins the final fight against Arcades, and EnVy now with hill control.
eUNITED, though, trying to fight back. They're trying to apply as much pressure as possible, but they're not winning any of the gunfights. They are just sprinting in, not even one by one, but at the very least, Clayster is going to be that last man standing. They're going to send Arcades on the pinch, but they're not even going to push for it. Like, this is something TK does a great job of. They know way they can afford to push for scrap time like that, but eUNITED, they don't go for it. They're preferring to go for that full setup, but that was, what, an extra 20 seconds that's just going to purely go to the way of Team EnVyUs, and they're going to have themselves a pretty solid lead. The question is, though, are they going to be able to retake Doc's warehouse? Because, as we've seen time and time again, you can get a full 60 on this hill.
You most definitely can. Hill pops. First few gunfights going to be key here for eUNITED. I don't want to say must win, but if they want to lock down this Doc warehouse hardpoint and get a ton of time, they need to make sure they slay out the first wave. Hook shuts down Prestini. RC's there, though, for a couple of trades, and Hook's actually going to make his way over towards the window, and that should give EnVy a little bit of control. As the contest going to come through from Arcades, almost has to. Bear in mind, he's playing pretty close to streaks. That's going to help. Tries to just hop out the hill. Potential juggle of nothing else if that kill comes through.
And I think the problem for eUNITED was there is they just turtled up a little bit too much in hill. I think they could have afforded to get a little bit more map control, but they elected to, what, at least double stack the hill. And EnVy, they make slight work of it. They break right through. Of course, going back and forth, eUNITED made things interesting for a second, but that is a huge 2 hills coming out from EnVy. They get themselves a nice lead. eUNITED has the full setup. They still make sure to break through. So now, once again, eUNITED, they don't exactly have the full setup because EnVy has a decent pressure on this next hill, but yeah, as long as EnVy at least kind of splits this one, they put themselves in a great spot.
Yeah, the key there for eUNITED was just making sure they controlled those spawns. But as I say that, look at where Prestini spawns. He spawns back bus far, far away. Temp spawns on the other side, lower docks, though. So still the fight for spawns going through. Finally, someone from EnVy spawns in. That's going to be Slasher. Big gunfight at the back of the map for Arcades. He does win it. As well as that, he finds Hook as well. eUNITED with their clutch gunfights. Phenomenal stuff from them. They lock in the spawns, but this is where they've kind of struggled, right? Is holding down the hills. Once you get control of it, don't allow EnVy to just walk straight through.
Well,
just like that.
Yeah, he's going to run back into pre-fire, and he was able to get a fighter pilot out of that, but EnVy kind of bullying a little bit, and I think Prestini especially, it just has problems on this map, it seems, and it might be a collective thing for eUNITED, just like sprinting into gunfights. Like, sometimes I feel like he just needs to slow down. Still, though, eUNITED, once again, they do rotate early just because the spawns didn't go in their favor, because EnVy is over there getting the scrap time, but they have another opportunity to get a decent break on the hill. The problem is, though, Slasher calling that fighter pilot at an angle, you just clear him out of the hill, but maybe there's potential here for eUNITED.
I mean, of course, eUNITED have some streaks of their own that they can use. Whether they decide to use them as a counter effect, we'll have to wait and see. Slasher's going to pick up 2 with the fighter pilot. And once again, eUNITED do actually get control of the hill there, just spawning so close. No one from EnVy in a position to realistically contest. Finally, though, Slasher making his way up towards the hill, and Slasher makes it easy. He just makes it look so easy. 20 and 7. You know, if you're an assault rifle player who happens to struggle on London Docks hardpoint, just watch Slasher. Just take notes, sit there, watch the VOD. There's plenty of it because he's so consistent. A 5 streak, 22 and 7. I have to agree with some of his tweets. The fact he hasn't won an event in the past few years is mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Fully streaked out, an 8-kill streak. Slasher, please don't ever quit.
I mean, he has to at some point.
Nope.
If COD survives the next 100 years, like at some point, his thumbs are just going to like fall off, right?
But no, we'll get him surgery. We'll get him fake thumbs.
This is absurd. 25 and 7. He's having a masterclass game at the moment. I want to point out, eUNITED has won the rotation battle every single time. It's because they're not getting the scrap time ever, but you win the rotations 4 out of 4, and EnVy is still up by 50 points at the end of it. Their defensive stands have just been atrocious, right? And you got to imagine that Slasher is a pretty huge reason as to why. Just 26 and 8. He's playing for stats, honestly, at this point. He's doing very well for himself.
I mean, the game's still close, though, as you mentioned. 120 to 83. eUNITED hanging in there. Austin still with a fighter pilot.
It's close, though, but now if EnVy wins one rotation battle, like, they might just blow the game open. Like, it's kind of a desperate situation for eUNITED. Of course, though, you're absolutely correct. There is plenty of time. eUNITED can turn their game around. I mean, Prestini starts out, what, like 3 and 12 or something along those lines? So 11 and 21 doesn't look great, but it's been technically better. So if he can start to heat up, that's going to be very nice, because eUNITED, once again, doing a pretty solid job on the statue hill, and they're gonna almost win the rotations as well. You expect Temp to get traded out, so similar situation. eUNITED wins the rotation battle. Can they finally hold?
Pristini grabs the 100 points, wants to push straight through, see if he can potentially get a couple of kills, doesn't, and now Slasher can use his streaks, and RC still with a fighter pilot. You almost kind of need to see him use it, relieve a little bit of this pressure here, because Envy are just flying straight at you. You need to pick up this time here on Main Street. It can give you the lead. I'm so surprised we didn't see it. The artillery barrage now comes through. eUNITED can't touch the hill. They're gonna die. Clay's gonna go for it, and well, that's what happens when there's an artillery barrage on the hard point.
And you kind of have to, right? Like, you just have to kind of push at least the players. If you spawn there, you don't have time to wrap around. And RC's, I would say goes huge, but he only picks up 2. He keeps him out of the hill for just a second. Envy's still going to be able to get all this time unless Clayster up top can pick a player out of the hill. But no, again, eUNITED wins the rotation battle. This time, it was the streak investment that won that rotation in theory for Envy.
But that was your point.
You can afford to do it. You can afford to do it.
Exactly. When you have that many streaks, of course you can afford to make that play. As Slasher continues a rampage at 35-12, score 147-104. Hook now with streaks. He has his first fighter pilot, just 25 away from the glide bomb. That'll do that. Now 100 away from the artillery barrage. eUNITED could be seeing the reverse sweep happen right before their eyes. And I believe Arcity still has that fighter pilot. And my big question is, when are you going to use it? You had the ideal opportunity to use it on that last Main Street hill. Like, when are you going to invest this?
I mean, even then, if you invest it on Main Street when you're dealing with an artillery, maybe you can clear him out for a couple seconds. Like, it's tough to say exactly. Maybe even save it for Crane. Like, if you don't win that Crane rotation, you keep him out of the hill there.
But, all right, but here's the problem. You haven't used it, and now Hook has streaks as well. So you have another artillery to use. If that's the reason you're not using your streaks, all that's going to happen is Envy's going to get more. They're going to get more and more and more streaks, and the game is going to spiral out of control.
The reason Envy's getting streaks, though, is because eUNITED just decided, hey, we're not going to kill anything.
Well, yeah, that probably doesn't help, right?
We're just going to collectively go, like, double negative.
Unfortunate for eUNITED here in this game 4. But Envy, they're turning on the heat. Now RC decides to use it, gets a triple. Can they hold this down for the 60, though? Because that's what they're looking for here. In barrels, they need that full 60 just to bring them back into this game. They still have the spawn, so they don't need to worry too much. Prestini has to realize the push is going to come from Stairway. He does. There's 2. Prestini looking for the 3rd. Silly, can he trade? Doesn't need to. Arcides is there, but they have to push this final Team EnVyUs player out of the hill. They do so with success, but just as I say that, Silly falls again. The battle of the trades going through, but it seems to be EnVyUs that's winning them, and they break through right through the front of the hardpoint. Chance they now have control. As I say that, contested, but eUNITED working for every single point.
Absolutely. They're going to have to keep fighting as well because Envy's pouring on the pressure up front. Hugh's going to be contesting as well, just laying down on the spot. So I think this is the best hill eUNITED's really had so far outside of maybe Statue. And even then, Envy does a really good job of just contesting. Slasher, by the way, 43-16. The man hasn't slowed down. But Ben, eUNITED has won, I'm pretty sure, every single rotation in this entire damn game. And they find themselves down by 60. Their defensive holds have been non-existent. And granted, some of the times Envy has streaks. Yes, that's been the case. But every single one.
I just want to watch Slasher if we can. The man is probably about to break a record here. 45-17 with plenty of time left in the game. I mean, we're looking at just a masterclass.
What's the record?
50, yeah.
Oh, he's going to smash that.
Tommy said it for now, and I mean, Slasher, if you watch this VOD back, I just want to say bravo, my friend. Bravo. It's a privilege to get to watch you play like this. It really is. As there it is. There's 50. There's 51. Slasher, what number do you want to end at? Because the record now truly is going to be yours. It's just a matter of how high you're going to set the bar for whichever poor soul has to come in second.
Well, trying to think of this, I think eUNITED's done a pretty good job on Statue, so we'll probably see one more Main Street hill. So yeah, I think Slasher could easily hit like 57 or 50. Well, not easily. That is not the correct word, but I think he could see 57 or 58 kills. So yeah, we'll just let it ride. Can we just go back to Slasher and literally watch? Like, this is his game.
Yeah, this is his game.
He wins this game, so we'll let it ride.
Envy forced the game 5, almost undoubtedly, because of what you're witnessing right here. 54. And he has a minute and a half hill time as well. Let's not forget that. 55 kills for Slasher. Can he make it more? There's going to come a point where he's probably going to say, boys, get out the hill. Get out the hill for me, all right? Let me just try and pad my stats. Let me really go for the record books, because this is a record which I'm probably going to say this, I don't think anyone's going to beat for the rest of the year.
I mean, if I'm a United, I just give up the hill time. Honestly, I don't want to be known as the guy that Slasher dropped 60 on LAN in a Pro League against. But yeah, Envy actually did a pretty good job on Statue Hill this time, and it looks like they're going to be able to close it out here unless someone from eUNITED just kind of distracts them a little bit. RC's just trying to be that guy, picks up 2, but it's not even going to be enough. Slasher is setting records. Slasher is a god. Slasher.
I'd be furious about it, Slasher.
Wow.
Get off the hill. Get off the hill, teammates.
I'm serious, man. You're trying to complete that reverse sweep.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but a wonderful display from Slasher. You just can't say his name enough. The man, the myth, the legend right there. A phenomenal performance from him in Game 4, and more importantly for EnVyUs, it forces a Game 5 in what is very much a must-win series for eUNITED. They had the 2-0 lead, and now all of a sudden they're struggling. And the wonderful Joe DeLuca comes backstage, and he's just as surprised as we are at Slasher's performance. But I mean, it goes from Temp's frustration to Slasher's smile as he drops record-breaking numbers here in today's CWL Pro League presented by PlayStation 4. Up next, it's Game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. eUNITED currently tied 2-2 with Team EnVyUs, and we just watched a record-breaking Game 4 from Slasher. 55 kills, a new record 9 double kills, and 4 triple kills included in that 55 bomb from him. And Chance, you made the point in that commercial break. You said, hey, someone from Envy needs to come up and slay.
Well, not even
Slasher?
someone. I thought as a team, they needed to collectively massively outstay their opponent, and Slasher was like, you need the team? What? No. Yeah, I got this. Don't you worry. Plus 33. Like, how many players for eUNITED that Matt didn't get 33 kills? At least 2 of them. I know at least 2 of them, if not more than that. And literally, Slasher outslays his opponents by them. That's the most ridiculous single performance we've seen, at least in Hardpoint so far this entire year. It's got to be.
I doubt we're ever going to see that matched again for the rest of the year. That was unbelievable. But now the woes continue for eUNITED as we go to this game 5. Already Clay picked for first blood, and this was my worry. This is what I mentioned to you. If this series did go to game 5 after the eUNITED 2-0 lead, I worried so much about how their mentality will stay strong. Hopefully they can prove me wrong.
I mean, you talk about momentum too. Like, not only did Slasher just have a beast of a game, but like Temp was great that game as well. He was great the map before, and he gets the first blood. Like, he's had a hot hand as well. So Envy trying to make their surgeons though. They're going on the retake though. They know everyone right now for Envy with the potential exception of Slasher, who again is on the flank. Slasher's been so sneaky so far, but his teams are going to win all the gunfights this time, but just put in the work, right? It was great first blood from Temp. They get the bomb down, pretty convincing ground. It's tough for the 3v4, but like, holy crap, man. Like, I don't know. How does eUNITED bounce back? Because they've played this map before already today. They played it against Epsilon. If Envy did their homework, which, honestly, with the way they're playing, they probably did, you never know. Like, they might be able to pull something off here on London Docks.
Well, we'll see. One step closer now to the reverse sweep as they win that first round. eUNITED on the attacking side. Let's see which site they want to potentially push first. Looks like it's going to be just a B push. Nothing too crazy. Silly, of course, carrying the bomb here for eUNITED. Is he going to be able to find that first blood? Doesn't look like it. Temp already with 1 first blood to his name. Could be getting a little aggressive here, but Pristini just flies through, and Temp says, well, if you're just going to jump at me, I'll take the easiest first blood ever.
Well, in fairness to Pristini, he had a lot of help from his team, who were all in coal, absolutely nowhere near the teammates. So, I mean, again, if you're going to go for the hero plays, but best case scenario, he gets 1, he's instantly going to get traded out. So, like, it's just, I don't think that's a good play.
But that's the pacing issue that we've talked about the entire year, really, with the squad. Like, you have to make sure your teammates are at least aware of what you're pushing. Instead, gives away a pointless free first blood. And now, eUNITED with a big job to do. It's 2v4. Hook says there's a double. All right, let me add a highlight reel to Twitter. That's a triple kill for Hook. We critiqued him heavily in game 2, search and destroy. Gunfights he had to win and didn't. That's a great bounce back here in round 2.
And eUNITED at that point just look confused, don't know what direction to look. They barely shot back. But I just want to say, in terms of Pristini, maybe they did their homework. They say Envy, they only have 1 player that plays in the back. So maybe they just knew something we did it. They had something set up. But at the same time, you're going for hero plays. If they don't work out like that, we shouldn't ever see that again. Like, you just got to go for your teammates. If you're playing for picks, like, just use a sniper or something like that, or better teamwork. So I'm not going to condemn them for that necessarily, but obviously that's not a great look. And now Klazer's actually going to be sniping, trying to take a page out of Reedy's book, but I don't think Temp's intent on checking this anytime soon. Meanwhile, the rest of Envy already working up over towards A, and if he gets this bomb down, it's going to be very, very close to Shrieks, and they're smoking inside the bomb site, Envy. You want to talk about how well prepared they are?
Someone from eUNITED needs a kill, too. 2 rounds in, no one has a pick, and Hook now may recognize this is my chance to plant the bomb. If RC's drops down, Hook could be in some trouble, but he isn't going to do that just yet. RC's does find the pick on Classic, instantly traded. Slasher there. Hook should be able to trade out Slasher's kill, just like that. Silly goes down, so now you're in a situation with a 2v2, and Clay recognizes Hook could just push him if he wanted to. Still the 2v2. Pricini in the site, though. He wins the gunfight, and instantly, does he hop on the bomb? He does, and there's the snipe pick anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Who's closer to Streaks? It's probably going to be Clay. Clay grabs the defuse. A nice response there from eUNITED.
Yeah, and you asked someone from eUNITED to get a kill, well, every single player on the team is like, yo, don't worry, Ben, I got you. At the same time, though, I'm almost positive if you got Streaks, not only did he get a bomb down, he also got a kill.
Yeah.
And so I know that's, what, 225? So, yeah, I think he should have both the glide bomb and the fighter pilot. And so this is still not a bad round from Envy. They're still up right now in terms of round count. Now it's just about how they execute, right? Or, of course, we even saw some on Flak Tower. Maybe eUNITED, they all stick to the mountain. They can make things work, but this is definitely advantage Envy.
Oh, there's your confirmation. Hook with Streaks. Arsty's going for the wallbang straight off the bat. Slasher first blood. That's Clay. He's been blooded twice now in the 4 rounds we've seen. As the numbers advantage back in Envy's favor. Of course, it is eUNITED on the attacking side here. They have a little bit of control of B, of course, though. This is the perfect time where if you're Hugh, you probably consider dropping a streak. In fact, you probably don't even need to. You have the numbers advantage. You have them completely pinched. Classic's going to push through mid-map, so you have all the information in the world. You probably don't even need to waste your streaks now. This is a free round for Envy.
No, and he actually does burn a glide bomb, but I think that's a perfectly fine use. Secure the round, go up 3-1,
Yeah.
don't take any risks. Make sure you execute the round because you still the fighter pilot, and I think eUNITED, they felt the pressure of the streaks. They felt the pressure of not having the man advantage. You can't afford to get the bomb down, and they ended up just pushing, not one by one as a team to a certain extent, but just into the pre-aim of Envy players. And don't get me wrong, it's a tough round after you get picked, but Envy making sure they execute to perfection. They took 0 risks that round.
Yep, didn't need to. And a 3-1 lead now in favor of Team EnVyUs as they just go another step closer to completing the reverse sweep. Of course, if you're just tuning in, it was eUNITED that was 2-0 up before an unbelievable CTF and a record-breaking hardpoint. And now the 3-1 lead, as I mentioned, here in London Docks, search and destroy. Clay still with the sniper rifle, looking for anything. Everyone on eUNITED with just 1 kill. RC is not going to find anything further this round. Classic with the nade, and eUNITED, they have no control of the A site. Envy with full control, and you have Clay who's going to have to try and push this with a pistol and a sniper rifle. I mean, it's just not going to work. Slasher, easy pick, and eUNITED falling apart before our eyes.
And I think ultimately the problem that round for eUNITED is you see they stack B because they're like, well, they have streaks. We can't let the bomb get planted because then we have to deal with the fighter pilot. So you prioritize the open bomb site, but then you have one player defending the closed bomb site, and Envy just kind of runs them over. And then, of course, Clayser still with the sniper. You're praying for a pick at that point, still in a 1v3. He's hoping for a miracle. He's not going to get it. And Envy goes from down 2 in the series when we're like, oh, man, Envy looks awful. They might not make playoffs. And now they're here. They've made the potential reverse sweep. They still got a couple more rounds they need to close out, but they're up 4-1, and they've been dominating these rounds.
That's the one thing that you have to give so much props to all 4 players in EnVyUs. When it comes to making reverse sweeps, you just see them do it. They stay composed. Even when their back's against the wall, when they're 2-0 down, 2-1 down, they stay composed. And that's something which is a very fantastic trait to have. And we can't say that about every team here at the Call of Duty World League. But Envy is definitely the one of few that we can't say that about. But that doesn't help Temp with the team kill there on Classic. So already man advantage eUNITED, but they have to take advantage. Shoot throws out the nade. That's going to be nothing but a hit marker. But can he potentially find the pick?
No, we cannot. Pristini's going to be able to pick up 2. eUNITED with pro control of the bomb site, going to be able to get that one down. And now Slasher himself finds himself in a 1v3, and you talk about composure, and then there's immediately a team kill. It's unfortunate more than anything. Clayster just going for those wall bangs with the STG, but gets the job done, I suppose, by proxy. Now the question is, what does Slasher do? I'm assuming he's just going to play for picks, but maybe it's even worth just jumping off the map in theory because Pristini has 2 kills. He didn't get the plant, which is nice, but be nearly impossible for him to win this round. And yeah, he's just gonna float on out.
We would have liked to, of course, found a pick, but didn't, and just decides, let me not give them any points unnecessarily. Let me not give them a slither of hope, or further hope of coming back into this game. Makes a smart decision, flies out there. So look at Prestini's double. eUNITED, they win their 2nd round, but still heavily down here. This next round is really crucial. A must-win for eUNITED.
And I think if Clay's going to continue to snipe, which he can do, I don't think it's necessarily dire, right? And he's going to. I think he needs to watch the A cross. I don't like him watching mid. It hasn't been successful, and it looks like that's going to be the adjustment he goes for. Actually, just maybe not watch the cross. Just go up and play mid from this direction. But this might actually work out. This might be a good read because you see 3 players for Envy, 2 over in Cole, 1's underground. If they slow peek this, they're dead.
Problem is, if Slasher peeks Clay, he's dead. And that's exactly what you see. And if you're Clay, you're a little upset because at the start of the round, you had someone covering that. You had a teammate watching to see if Slasher was going to push, and, well, you give it up, and now a fighter pilot called in. Mountain not being used. Hook says, well, that's a free kill. 4v2 in favor of Team EnVyUs. 4v1 in favor of Team EnVyUs. Prestini, last man alive. Bombs being planted. Prestini hunted. Prestini one shot. How on earth did he just win that gunfight? No idea. Surely. Surely not. Prestini, 1v3, 35 seconds left. I mean, in these situations, you got to go quick. He doesn't want to necessarily give his life away because he was close to streaks. Goes for the challenge. Doesn't matter. Envy closed the round out. And
now they're just 1 round away from reverse sweep completion. And you talk about, well, I don't know if it's necessarily a confidence booster for Envy. They've already proven they can do it, but you want to talk about deflation from the side of eUNITED. This is do or die. They're trying not to get relegated.
Oh, this is one of those moments.
And keep in mind, if they get this win against Envy, that's massive for them to potentially make playoffs, let alone avoid relegation. But now if they get reverse swept like this, I would be deflated for them.
Well, get ready to deflate.
They got 4 rounds, though. 4 rounds in a row. I know 3 of their players have combined 3 kills, and that's less than 4, which is how many rounds they need. So things aren't looking great, but
quick maths.
Not over till the fat lady sings.
You know a fat lady? Because she's about to start singing. Our city's left just like that. 1v3. The team kill comes through from eUNITED. Not what you want to see. Arcades makes it a 1v2. Should make it a 1v1. Does so. There's still hope for eUNITED, and it's coming from Arcades. But he still has to go for the clutch, and Slasher has all the information he needs. Throws out the nade. That should hit Arcades. Doesn't. Arcades, I'm not sure he saw the arc of the nade, so he's in trouble, and Slasher's just going to take his time. This is a freebie. This is an absolute freebie. Slasher toying with his food, and oh no! That's what happens when you take a little too long. Arcades, in map 2, we saw him do some just filthy, unspeakable things. Add that one to the list.
That is 3 clutches in 2 days on this map for Arcades. He has 2 1v2s and a 1v3, honestly, if not more. So we know Arcades is clutch. We know he's great in search and destroy. And we know Slasher probably shouldn't hesitate next time. I'm surprised he actually threw the nade. I'm more surprised Arcades didn't know where the nade came from.
Right, that was the confusing part.
And they win the round. They just need 3 more. EnVy's trying to close this one out here, but who knows, man.
That last round was with the eUNITED team kill as well, let's not forget. So Arcades could have just given a little bit of energy now to his teammates, but you still look at Silly at 1-7, Clay 2-6, not much better. But Clay this is what frustrates me. Changes his class and instantly finds success.
Well, not only that, EnVy decided to play that round by triple stacking mid. They give up complete control of B. Now they're trying to rat back, but eUNITED, they had the full setup. Glacier's actually going to respond to pressure because they know where the last 2 players are, able to get out of dodge. You got to stay behind the brick wall to avoid getting wall banged. But now you see number 5 on the minimap, Silly's coming to help his teammate. Man advantage. Arcades has the it is Arcades. Arcades has the cross to A if EnVy wraps back. Glacier, though, this could be a huge 1v1 that Huke's going to sprint right into, and there you go.
And that's just a fabulous round from Clay. A wonderful, wonderful round from him. He gets 3 kills. He gets a first blood. He dodges the nade. He stays alive in a situation where many people would die. The eUNITED resurgence is on, Chance.
2 more, man. They just need 2 more. They get team kills, and then they clutch. They have an opportunity to get control of the bomb site. They take full force. They don't hesitate. They get there, and then they're patient. EnVy, again, not necessarily the best opening break that they had. I don't know if they missed a smoke over by A, so they didn't want to cross, whatever it might be. But that's a round that goes to eUNITED, keeping things interesting.
Silly still at 1-7, though. If he can step up in this round, you could see a good old-fashioned Game 5, round 11 on the horizon, but it's eUNITED now on the attacking side. They fly in towards A site, and I think Prestini just got all the information he needs. Beautiful strafe jump straight up onto the ledge, and now the question is, did Huke see him? He's weak, and Huke just flies straight in. Doesn't want to give Prestini any opening whatsoever. 4v3, advantage Team EnVyUs.
And he's trying to get in a sneaky spot, but then at the same time, your teammates can't help you. Silly's got to win the gunfight through the wall. He's not going to be able to do that. Arcades gets a trade, but this is a 2v3. Arcades has clutched once. He's got to clutch again. Has Clay to help him out with. This is a doable situation. They have plenty of time, but backs against the wall. You got to go huge.
And they know where Huke is because he's just been spotted, but Clay has to be so worried about Temp, who's watching that flank, but Clay's put himself in a great position. He just needs to win the first gunfight. He's going to get shot in the back. So unfortunate. Temp checks, and now Arcades, another 1v3. Can he do it? He spots Temp. It's not going to happen. And EnVy complete the reverse sweep in fantastic fashion, and that's another one where if you're eUNITED, you've just got to ask, what the hell just happened?
You got to get eUNITED a Logic song just to try and maybe get their spirits back in the right spot. Whatever that number is, they might need to call. That